Hi, I'm Archie Garcia, and today I will discuss the procedures in black and white print making. First, the contact printing. I will discuss the steps and the description. First, position the enlarger close to the slot where the negative carrier is inserted in the enlarger head so that light will shine only on the baseboard and is not coming out of the slot. This is particularly important in school's group darkroom because stray light can fog other people's prints. Switch on the enlarger lamp. Place the printing frame of the enlarger baseboard. Raise the enlarger head until the light covers the entire printing frame. 2. Set the lens aperture and the enlarger timer. As a trial exposure, set the enlarger lens aperture to f/11 and the timer to 3 seconds. Do a test strip using 3 seconds intervals. 3. Identify the emulsion sides of the negatives and paper. The emulsion sides of the negative must face the emulsion side of the paper film tends to curl toward its emulsion side, which is duller than the back. 4. Insert the negatives and one sheet of paper in the printing frame. The paper goes on the bottom, emulsion side up. The negatives go above the paper, emulsion side down. The glass top of the frame sandwiches and negatives and the paper together tightly. If you don't have a printing frame, you can simply put the paper on the enlarger baseboard, the negatives on the top of it, and a plain sheet of glass overall. 5. Expose and process the print with the printing frame in the place under the enlarger head. Push the timer button to turn the enlarger light on the expose the print. Process the paper. After fixing after fixing. 6. Evaluate the print. Some of the frame will be lighter, others darker, depending on the exposure each receive in the camera. The judge print exposure overall. Examine the film edges in the print. They should be black, but with edge. Numbers legible and with 35 mm film. A very slight difference between the edges and the darker sprocket holes. And the second is the photo enlarging. Steps and the description. First, place your negative in the enlarger carrier. The enlarger will protect your image upside down, so invert it when you place in the carrier. Second, clamp the enlarger down over the carrier. If you turn a switch to unlock the enlarger carrier so you could slide it out, turn the switch again to clamp down the enlarger. 3. Position Position a sheet of scrap paper on the projection plane. Don't use regular photo paper yet, since the lights in the room will ruin it. 4th, turn off the lights in the darkroom. Make sure the darkroom you're in is completely closed off from external sources of light. The darkroom should have a red safety light on so you can see what you're doing in the dark. The red light won't affect the photo paper you'll be using later on. 5. The larger on using the timer. Once you turn the light bulb on, you should see your image projected on the scrap piece of paper. 6. Adjust Adjust the height of the enlarger until the image fits on the scrap paper. Make sure none of the image is off the paper. Any portions of the image that aren't on the paper won't show up when you make your final print. 7. Uh, Focus the image using the knob on the side of the enlarger. When you adjust the focus knob, a lens on the enlarger will move up or down, changing the focus. If the image gets blurrier when you adjust the focus, turn the knob in the opposite direction. 8. Set the aperture on the enlarger to f/8 for the most photographs. The right aperture setting can vary depending on the image you're printing, but generally f/8 is a good place to start. 9. Cut a strip of photo paper to test the exposure with. You'll need to use actual photo paper to test the exposure since you'll be developing it. 10. Place the strip of paper on the projection plane. Position the strip so it will capture a detailed portion of the image, which will make it easier to determine which exposure time is best. 11. Expose the entire strip of paper to light for 2 seconds. First, use the dial on the timer to set the exposure time to 2 seconds. Then press the start button on the timer to turn on the light bulb inside the enlarger. After 2 seconds, the light should turn off. 12. Cover 1/5 of the strip and expose the rest of it for another 2 seconds. At this point, the rest of the strip will have been exposed to light for 4 seconds. 13. Repeat until you've exposed 5 sections to different durations of light. Cover 2/5 of the strip and expose it to 4 seconds of light. Cover 3/5 of the strip and expose it to 8 seconds of light. Cover 4/5 of the strip and expose it to 12 seconds of light. 14. 14. Develop the test strip. And 15. Use the test strip to determine the best exposure time for your final print. First section 2 seconds, second section 4 seconds, third section 8 seconds, fourth section 16 seconds, fifth section is 28 seconds. Uh, they develop the image should be divided into 5 distinct sections. They choose the sections that looks the best. 16. Make more specific test strip if none of the exposures look quite right. For example, if 8 seconds is too bright and 16 seconds is too dark, try making a test strip with 5 sections between 8 and 16 seconds. To do this, expose the whole paper for 8 seconds. Then expose each of the next 4 sections for the 2 seconds. Your new test strip will then display exposures of 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, 14 seconds, and 16 seconds. 17. Turn the lights off again. Do this before you remove the photo paper for your final print so it's not ruined by the light if it's not still on. Turn the safety light on so you can see what you're doing. 18. Place a full sheet of photo paper on the projection plane. Lift up the top of the frame, insert the paper, and close the frame, then place the projection plane on the base of the enlarger. 19. Expose the paper to light using your desired exposure time. For example, if you like the image quality for 16 seconds of exposure, time on the test strip. You'd set the timer to 16 seconds. And the last is develop your final print. When you're finished developing your final print, hang it up to dry in the darkroom. And that's all, guys. Thank you.